few weeks ago, I said I don't do my husband's laundry, and a lot of people are saying, whoa, 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 those are small acts of kindness. Why wouldn't you want to do that for your partner? But here's the thing, small acts of kindness that are mostly domestic labor just add up to work at the end of the day. So here's a list of things that I don't do for my husband. You all know, I don't do his laundry. He can do that himself.
My husband is mad at me because he walked in and he saw that I'm making breakfast, and I told him that this was for me and my daughter, and that if he wanted some, he needs to cook for himself.
This woman thought it was normal to cook for everyone, except her own husband. He filed for divorce, and what happened next will shock you. Some call this equality, others call it total disrespect. You need to watch to see how small actions can completely destroy a marriage.
A few weeks ago, I said I don't do my husband's laundry, and a lot of people are saying, whoa, 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 those are small acts of kindness. Why wouldn't you want to do that for your partner? But here's the thing, small acts of kindness that are mostly domestic labor just add up to work at the end of the day. So here's a list of things that I don't do for my husband. You all know, I don't do his laundry. He can do that himself. I do my laundry and we do the kids' laundry, but he does his own. I don't cook dinner. He cooks dinner every single night. I do breakfast and lunch for us and our kids. I don't pack him a lunch. If he's hungry, he'll figure out what he's going to eat for lunch the same way that I do. I don't make his doctor's appointments because guess what? He's not making mine. Would it be kind of me to do that? For sure. Is it my job? Absolutely not. I want him to be healthy, but he's a grown-ass man and he can book his own appointments, right? There's a lot of things that I don't do for my husband. I don't schedule his haircuts. I don't pack his clothes for vacation, right? I don't do those things. I don't buy him new underwear when it's got holes in it. All of those are things that he's a grown man and he can do himself. Can I do small acts of kindness for him? Of course I can. And I do. I see a vinyl that I think he's going to like because he's creating a vinyl collection. I buy it. I'm at the store and I see something that I think he might enjoy eating. I buy it. I find a new non-alcoholic beer that he wants to try out. I buy it, right? Those are small acts of kindness. Doing his laundry, cooking him dinner, making him lunch, booking his doctor's appointments, all those things, that's domestic labor. Those are chores. Those are not acts of kindness. Do I do them occasionally when he's working a lot? Of course. Do I cook dinner sometimes when he's had a really long day? Of course. But me not doing that does not mean that I don't show him love or kindness. They're different things. It is not my job as a wife, it is not in my job description to do all the domestic labor as small acts of kindness to my partner and receive nothing in return. I agree with this commenter. If it's going both ways, fantastic. But oftentimes, domestic labor, especially when you have children, adds up. And so no, I am not my husband's personal secretary or his personal assistant. I am none of those things. I am his partner, I am his equal, and I do not have to do things to cater to him and serve him at all times to be kind and loving for him.
So there's a few things that I don't do as a married woman. Number one, I do not cook for my husband. I only cook for my children. My husband will be making his own breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Number two, I do not help him pay any bills. So if he is short on the rent, on utilities, or anything like that, it is not my problem. I will not be helping him out. His job is to provide for his family, so I am not financially contributing to any of the bills. Number three, I do not do his laundry. I have my own laundry and my children's laundry to do, so he could do his own. I won't help him put it away. I won't help him fold anything. That's his responsibility. Number four, he is responsible for replacing any of his essentials like soap, shampoo, anything like that. He needs to go buy it himself. Even if I'm at the store, I will not be replacing it for him. If he needs new underwear, new socks, or anything like that, that's for him to do. I'm not going to do it for him. I'm not going to enable a perfectly grown-ass adult because then they get used to that shit. So, no.
Her attitude goes beyond dividing chores. She refuses any financial or domestic support for her husband, claiming he should provide for himself entirely. In a healthy marriage, even under traditional values, the husband and wife are a team. Refusing any cooperation, especially in times of need or joint effort, turns the marriage into a relationship of convenience or competition, not partnership. A lack of basic reciprocity erodes respect and affection in the relationship.
My husband is mad at me because he walked in and he saw that I'm making breakfast, and I told him that this was for me and my daughter, and that if he wanted some, he needs to cook for himself. I told him I was not going out of my way to make breakfast for him. This is only for me and my daughter. If you're that hungry, there's a McDonald's down the street, or there's eggs in the fridge and there's bacon, and you can make it yourself. He's acting like this not cooking for him thing is brand new. I gave him a list of things that I don't do the day that we got married, and he was okay with it. So what's the problem now? I told him, if you don't want to cook, you could wait and see if there's any leftovers. If there's leftovers, go ahead and eat. If there's no leftovers, then I'm sorry, you're going to have to figure it out. But I am not going to cook for you. It's not my job to cook for you. I'm sorry. And then on top of that, I'm doing scrambled eggs. He wants a fried egg. No, I'm sorry. That's too much work for me. I'm not gonna do it. Plus, he's so picky with his food that he might as well just cook it himself. So like that, he doesn't have nothing to complain about.
Here, the problem is taken to the extreme. She only cooks for herself and her daughter, leaving her husband completely unsupported. On top of that, she sets rigid rules and even dismisses his preferences. This shows a lack of flexibility and empathy, which are essential in any marriage. In a traditional model, small concessions, like preparing a meal or accommodating a partner's preferences, are ways to nurture the bond and show care. Completely ignoring these opportunities inevitably creates resentment.
I got married to be a wife, not a maid. If you got married to be a maid, then that's between you and your husband. When me and my husband got married, I clearly told him, I will not cook for him, I will not clean for him, I will not do his laundry, and I will never ever split bills. I will never go 50-50 on bills. I will never help him with bills. I've said this before. He is a grown man. He's more than capable of cooking his own breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I don't care if I'm in the middle of cooking like I was in that video. You want something to eat? You can make it yourself. Especially that you wanted me to make something different for you. Oh, but all these parents are like, no, my kid is going to eat what I make. But then it's an issue when my husband doesn't want to eat scrambled eggs. He wants a fried egg. No, he's going to eat what there is if there's leftovers. I'm sorry, I didn't get married with the intentions to be anybody's slave, to be anybody's maid, okay? I am not their mother. I don't need to do things for them. They could do things for themselves, especially that he's a grown-ass adult. And my job is to take care of my children and make sure that they're okay. My husband is a grown adult. He could fend for himself.
This woman frames her marriage as being a mother and partner only to herself and the children, not to collaborate with her husband. This radical stance turns the marriage into a one-sided arrangement, reducing her husband to the role of provider. In a traditional marriage, there's an expectation of mutual support and shared domestic responsibilities, which goes beyond strict equality. It involves attention, care, and active participation in each other's lives.
So my husband usually works like 12 to 14-hour shifts, and when he gets home, I usually have dinner already made. But the only thing is that my husband has to wait for me and all my children to eat, and if there's any leftovers, then he's welcome to eat some. If not, then he either has to make his own food or he has to go out and buy, fast food or from a restaurant or whatever it is. Or sometimes I'll simply just cook something that I know my husband doesn't like, so like that, he has to figure it out for himself. Every night when he comes home, his stomach is full of hope and nothing else. Like at this point, you're driving home. Why don't you just pick up something from, wherever you want to eat from? Because most of the times there's no leftovers. And sometimes the little bit of leftovers that there are, I just give it to the dog. See, like tonight, for example, I just finished eating dinner. So did my kids. There wasn't anything left over. So now he's going to go, and I think he said he was going to get some Chick-fil-A. So that is what he's going to eat tonight. Unfortunately, there was just no leftovers for him.
Even while preparing meals for her children, she deliberately leaves her husband without food or forces him to handle his own needs. This shows a disregard for the husband's basic responsibilities at home, which in any traditional view of marriage would be shared. A healthy relationship requires some balance between caring for the children and attending to the spouse, even if the man is also the provider. Constantly ignoring this creates frustration and tension, and in her case, it led to direct conflict.
Alright, so Benny Bloop here wants to know what is my purpose. And it's quite simple. My purpose is to be the queen of the castle. I just sit back on my throne and I supervise the peasants. I mean, my husband. No, but all jokes aside, my husband is very lucky to have me. Like, I could promise you that he's very, very lucky. And I'm pretty sure my husband has endless stories to tell his friends, his co-workers about how much of a helpful wife I am. But also, my purpose is to make sure that my husband never feels outshined by my cooking, by my cleaning, or my laundry skills. It's called selfishness. I need to make sure that he knows that he could do everything that I could do, or even better. But no, let's be for real. My purpose is to keep the couch warm and to keep the remote close. It's a vital role in our marriage, and that's what works for us. But what that video proved to me was that men clearly do not pay attention. Yes, they watched the video, but they didn't read no captions or hashtags, and they fell right into the trap. So that was a proven fact that men don't pay attention. You can't multitask and watch a video and read at the same time. All these men are so mad for no reason.
This woman seems to treat marriage as a stage for her own comfort and status, seeing her husband as a servant rather than a partner. While humor is present in her description, what comes through is a complete role reversal. Instead of cooperation, there's competition and an exaggerated concern with not outshining her husband. A traditional marriage assumes mutual respect and collaboration, not hierarchy or manipulation to maintain power over the other.
I don't cook, clean, or do my husband's laundry, and now he has threatened me with divorce. He told me that he knows his worth and he's no longer going to put up with me not doing anything for him, especially since it's a new year. So he told me since it's so hard for me to do anything for him, that he's going to make it a little bit easier for me. And this is what he got me. He got me a reward chart journal, which I honestly thought was the greatest idea because maybe it would motivate me to do chores around the house. So this is what she looks like, reward chart journal. And let's open her up. So our first task is cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Do everyone's laundry, including his. Mop and vacuum. Take out the trash. Wash dishes. Clean my room. And take a shower because he knows I only shower once a week. So now I have these little stickers. And then I get to just stick them on here. And, hopefully if I get all my chores done, then my reward is $150. So I'll, post an update and see how I do with this because I don't want to get divorced. So my husband decided to drain our joint bank account and leave me after so much controversy on my videos. So on my main page, I made a video about how I didn't want to cook breakfast for my husband because I didn't want to go out of my way from making scrambled eggs to making a fried egg for him. And I said that he could do it himself. I don't cook for my husband. I never have, and I'm not going to be starting today. I'm sorry. I guess he got, wind of the videos, and yeah, he drained our bank account, and he has told me that I have to leave. At first, I thought he was the one that's going to be gone and that I was going to be able to stay here, but he returned and he said that I need to pack up my things and go. I told him absolutely not because I have children, and me and my children are not going to be in the street. So I told him that he has to evict me. And the one that gave him this idea of leaving me was his birth giver. Yes. His mother was the one that gave him the grand idea to leave me after 15 years. It's honestly ridiculous and disgusting that this is even happening right now.
The climax. The husband takes drastic action because he feels disrespected and neglected. This story highlights the practical consequences of refusing to meet even minimal responsibilities in a marriage. Beyond emotional disconnect, there are financial and legal repercussions. In any traditional perspective, marriage involves commitment, mutual care, and the ability to compromise for the family's well-being. Ignoring this can destroy the home and leave lasting scars, as clearly happened in this case.